5, right? You want 4 and 5. No, only 4, right? Do you want 3?
Just 4 would be okay, I think.
4, okay. So what we are doing here is we are creating a dynamic path to the Excel source file. So here there is a text that has been given, which has the function for creating the which has the code, not function, but code for creating the this particular table. So what it does is it uses these 3 parameters. Path is one parameter, which is just giving the path of the just the path, not the file name, but just the path of where the files are. What are those files? The files are Van Asdel actuals and Van Asdel budget. So that's what it uses. And when you look at the file actuals underscore path.txt, it starts with let. Let means usually you are in the beginning. I mentioned that um, it's used to assign values to variables, right? So here what's happening is the variable is file path and you are giving path. What is this path? That path is the path that you have in the path parameter that you have in your Power BI Power Query editor file, where you are changing the path, right? And file name is here. The first one is actuals underscore file. That's the parameter. Okay. And path slash is, are you defining because your path will have a backward slash is this. So here it is text dot starts with. What does it do? Can anyone tell? We went through the text functions, right, today. So what does it? If the path starts with this, I think somebody, Cynthia had that. Hyacinth had this. Tried to do this with a slash slash path. So if that starts with okay, no, this one if starts with HTTP, file path is the variable. If that path starts with HTTP, then you give the slash, you replace the slash as forward slash, otherwise it will be a backward slash. And then you are uh, creating another variable called full path, where it is combining. Ampersand means combine. Okay, you are concatenating. So you are concatenating file path, which is file path. So that means the path variable that you have, the path parameter that you have in the file. I'm concatenating it with, if text ends with path slash, so that means ends with forward slash or a backward slash, then you are removing that. Else you are just leaving the path slash as it is. So for example, if you had your path as, for example, here, I'll just give you some example. Uh, yeah, if you had something like this, if you ended the path like this, then you are just replacing it with nothing. So that means you are just replacing it with that. Okay. And and you are also concatenating it with file name. That is the full path. So file path, and you are checking whether it is ending with slash or not, and then you are giving the file name. So that is what is happening here. And again, there is another source. Source is another variable that you are using here, which checks whether if the text starts with HTTP, then excel.workbook web.contents. This is the function used if you use HTTP. Else, if the file path does not start with HTTP, then the function used is file.contents. That's what this is doing. And in means, I mentioned in the when I was going through the PowerPoint that it is um, returns. It returns source. So that means what will it return? It returns the entire path um, of the what do you call of the path of the files. So that's what it does, and then you see the those tables. So if I share my Power Query editor, where's my yeah, if I see this actual path, this is what it is showing. So this has all these tables. So it's getting the data and then it is uh, getting the actuals file because that's the file name in xlsx. These are the sheets that are there. So each of them are defined as tables in the Excel. So that's why it is showing as tables. And if you click on here, you can see the preview of the tables. Don't click on the table because that will expand. Just click outside here and then you can see the structure of those tables. So campaign table has 3 columns. Customer table has 3 columns. So that's the in brief the 4A part. I'll again share the PDF. Sorry. PDF, yeah. So yeah, that's what is happening here. So now you understood. Any questions so far? So this is what we see in the campaign dim. Okay, now I'm going to move to 4B. Here, so 4A is you are creating a dynamic path for the Excel source file. The source file name is vanasdel.xlsx. Okay. Here you are creating a dynamic path to CSV source file. So again, same. One step is missing here. Clicking on the advanced editor when you are pasting the uh, code for the path. So here the change will be, I think just the file name. And then, so in the budget, you will see that these are the, yeah, so these are the, this is the values of the budget file. Okay, resolved budget path is budget path. Okay, got it? Or do you want me to go through the budget underscore path file? Let's check it. Where is it? Yeah, budget underscore path file. If you look at it, the main change is budget underscore file, which is the um, which is nothing but the budget underscore file variable. So I don't know what I was sharing, but I'll share the Power Query editor so that it's easy for you to understand. So here, if see this one, see budget underscore file is the parameter. So this parameter budget vanasdel budget underscore budget dot csv is the budget path. So if you go to the advanced editor, the change from this one, and also this is a CSV. So that's why the this part changes. Earlier you saw that it's the Excel dot document, I think. The other one was Excel dot document in actual Excel dot workbook, and this one is CSV dot document. That's the functions. There is a difference in function for a CSV file and an Excel file. Excel dot workbook is the function that is used for Excel, and then CSV dot document is the file that is the function that is used. So these are the changes. This one, the parameter has changed, and this one. So yeah. So did everyone get that? Any questions? Now I will again share the PDF. So that is for A and B. And creating custom function, again blank query, and then here, yeah, this is the source um, for creating the function. So here, what is it saying? Creating a source variable where transaction date as date is, and again creating more variables. Year start. Year start is here. The function that is being used is date dot year, where you are passing the transaction date, comma 1. That means you are getting only the year part in the transaction date. And then because it's year starts with 1, right? 1st January. So 1 and 1. So 1 is for month, 1 is for day. That's why this is year start. And date diff. Date diff is duration dot from. You are using duration dot from function and passing the date transaction date dot year start date transaction date minus year start. So what is the duration? That is, for example, if your transaction date is on 5th of January and your year start is 1st of January, so how many days? Duration is 4 days, right? So date difference is 4. And then number of days is duration um, dot days and the date diff plus 1, because it gives you, I think because it starts with 0, that's why number of days you are giving as 1. And then in is again you are returning a number. So returning the last step. This is called a step. So you are returning the last step. Since there are two lets, you have two ins. So you are returning the source. So this one is a parameter, a variable inside of uh, another variable. So these are all variables inside a variable. So that's why you have to give two lets and two ins. Okay. This is some advanced, this is the custom code. So if once you give that, this will convert into a function. That's why it's called fn. This, if you just give this one, then it will give you the number of days. But if you pass in the transaction date as a parameter, then it will create you can invoke the function. So create a new parameter, manage parameters. You created a transaction date. You all have done that, right? So now it will convert as a function. I'll just share the um, Power Query editor again, and then I explain there. Okay. So here, see this, if you look at this one and that one, this is a custom function because it says fx here. So now how does the function look? Because this function requires a parameter, it is asking for to enter a parameter. So if we look, if we add, let's say 20, let's choose a date. Let's say August 11th. And if we invoke, then it should give us number of days from, see, 223 days. So that means if you start counting from January, 1st of January 2022, because I have given the date as 2020, as today's date. So it will count number of days from 1st of January 2022 to 11th August 2022, which is 223 days. So it has invoked the function. It didn't change anything here, but it has created another query which is giving you the answer. I don't want that, so you can just delete that. But this won't affect the existing function. You are just invoking the function to just see what the number of days is. And this function you can in turn use it in one of your these queries. You can use it in these queries. Okay, got it? Thanks, Dinesh, for prompting me to go through this one. Any questions? Any other feedback, please? I'll stop the recording.